Hey, what is up, Internet? Kyle here, Slapshot Toys, doing another action figure review video for you this evening. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at a figure from Mezco Toys. It is part of the 112 collective, not collectible, collective line, and it is Ash from Evil Dead 2. Now, this is Mezco's kind of chance of redemption for me because I got the Catwoman figure, I hated it. It came broken in the box. I didn't like it at all, and I was hoping that was going to get me into the Batman, like, whole 112 Batman line. I was going to buy just about everyone I could, but that Catwoman turned me off on 112 so much, but I decided to give him another chance. This is one of my favorite movies. This is one of my favorite characters, so I'm hoping Mezco can redeem himself with this figure. So I can't wait to take him out of the box and see if he does redeem himself, so let's not delay it any further. To the light box.
Shotgun shells, this rotting smell lingers on words that were said. Her body in pieces, my hand cut away. The ever-enchanting book of the dead. Sun won't rise.
And here's Ash out of the packaging, looking like he is about ready to kick some Deadite behind. And I have to say, this figure is phenomenal. I'm astounded by how much I like it. Everything from the soft goods to all the detailing and the sculpts and the accessories. This just screams Evil Dead 2, screams Ash, screams Bruce Campbell, and I am absolutely in love with this figure, and I think it has kind of reignited a love for horror slasher stuff that I had way back when, and I am super impressed with this figure. I do have one issue with the figure, but it's not really this figure, just the way this particular one came, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that Ash does come with. First accessory I want to take a look at that comes with Ash is going to be the stand. Now, this is the standard plate stand that we get with most Mezco 112 figures. This one's just a nice black gloss plate. It does say Evil Dead 2 there, Dead by Dawn. My only issue with this stand is the plate is this like really nice gloss black. So anytime I touch it, as you can see throughout here, it gets fingerprints everywhere. I've tried actually wiping this off several times, and unfortunately they don't seem to want to come off. So as you can see in my review, it definitely has my fingerprints all over it. So that's the only kind of drawback with this stand, is it does show prints very easily. Now this does have the foot peg right there, and then we are also given this plastic kind of cradle stand crane thing. I'm not actually going to use it, so I'm not going to bend it or anything, but these do bend at all the joints, but Ash really isn't a flying character, so I don't think I'll use this all that much. Up next, I want to take a look at the hand options that we are given with this figure, and unfortunately we're not given a whole lot as far as hand options. We're only given one full set of hands, and that is these closed fists right here. We're also given two right hands, one that holds the shotgun and one that holds the Necronomicon. Man, I can't talk. It's kind of a hard word to say anyway. But taking a look at these, the detailing's really nice, sculpting's really nice. So you get some nice flesh tone there on the back. You get the fingernails and everything all sculpted out. Looks really nice. This one, I don't know if that's supposed to be like blood splatter or if that's actually just like the paint chipping off. So I got those kind of like burgundy red spots. None of the other ones have it, only this one that holds the shotgun. So I don't know if maybe by putting the shotgun in and out of the hand as I have when I've been taking pictures, if that's chipping that off, but I do have some spots on that one, but it's not really on the back all that much, and it kind of does look like blood spatter, so not too concerned about it. But outside of the chainsaw hand, that is really the only hand options that we are given with this figure, so that's a little bit of a letdown. Next thing I want to take a look at is going to be the weapons that Ash comes with. First and foremost, you have to have Ash's chainsaw hand, and is definitely given to us in glorious, gory detail, thanks to Mezco, and this looks amazing. You get some amazing detail there on the actual body of the chainsaw. I love the bloody blade. I think that looks fantastic. You get the actual teeth there in the chain. Just looks amazing. So much like nice weathering effect and everything. It looks so good. Come through here, you get some blacks, some silvers. This looks really good, and this does port right onto the arm port, so he can have it on his arm. Next up, we have Ash's sawed-off shotgun. Once again, you have really nice detail all throughout the stock. Some nice weathering effect there on the metal. I mean, not really a whole lot of detail, but the paint job looks amazing. Really gives it that old rifle feel. Really like this weapon as well. But moving right along, the next thing I want to take a look at is the Deadite accessories that we are given with this figure. First and foremost, you can't have an Evil Dead or Ash figure without the Necronomicon. Man, I cannot say that word at all. But this Book of the Dead looks absolutely amazing. You get the nice kind of worn flesh all throughout the book. You get the eyes, the nose, and the mouth right there. The paint job looks fantastic with those browns and then that black wash over top. I think that looks amazing. Unfortunately, this doesn't open. This is one solid piece, but they do have the individual pages and everything sculpted out there. And then the back looks really nice with the rest of the torn flesh and everything painted in the brown and black. The next piece that we have is Ash's possessed hand when he gets possessed and has to chop it off. And one point in the movie, it does flip him the bird, and that's exactly what Mezco has given us. And this thing is awesome. So you get the nice detailing there from the burns on the back of the hand. You get the nice middle finger right there. Get the nice nail painted in black. Get the nice like kind of rotting flesh look. Love the paint job, love the detailing, love the sculpting. Coming over here, just some more beautiful detailing. You get the nice kind of glossy there to look like blood and like it's just been chopped off. Get the bones and everything right there. This looks really cool, and I think it's an awesome accessory that Mezco has included with this figure. And then we also get one deadite head, and this thing is sculpted beautifully. I love the two eyes there. I love this kind of cloudy, glossy one. I think that looks amazing. But you get all of this vein work, all this kind of rotting flesh, all the blood, all the guts. Yeah, this thing just looks awesome. Super happy to have this because right now I'm having this pose like kind of Ash standing on it, and it just looks amazing in my collection. And last but not least, we are given 3 different head sculpts with this figure. One of them being like a bloody Ash that is actually on the figure currently, and I'll show you in just a second. But the other two, the first one is kind of a not as battle damaged. I mean, he's definitely got some scars and stuff all over him. And I think this has a fairly good look of a young Bruce Campbell. This is my least favorite of the 3. It's not a bad face sculpt. I don't know. I wish it was like maybe showing a little bit more kind of anger or aggression or something. Or just not as stoic, I guess. But I mean, yeah, the sculpt looks amazing. Got that nice 5 o'clock shadow throughout it. Love the scars. Eyes look good. Hair looks amazing with all that sculpted out. I think that looks wonderful. And then next is probably my favorite. I think this is my favorite. So you have the possessed Ash face sculpt, and this looks insane. So you get all the wrinkly skin all throughout, the yellowed teeth, the sunken eyes. I mean, this thing just looks so much like Ash when he was possessed in the film. Yeah, Mezco did an amazing job nailing this face sculpt. This is definitely my favorite of the 3. You get those really nice, almost like pearlescent, glossy silver eyes. Just looks wonderful. Oh, and I almost forgot, it wouldn't be a 112 figure without the 112 bag to put your accessories into. Now we're going to take a closer look at Ash himself, and this is the other face sculpt that I absolutely love. You get this like really kind of confused, dazed look there from Ash, which you get a lot in the film, and then you get all that blood all over his face. I think this one looks fantastic. This is probably the one I'm going to have on him the most. I'll probably switch it out between this one and the deadite one quite often, but I really like this face sculpt. Once again, you get that nice 5 o'clock shadow. Love all the battle damage with that nice glossy red that really makes it look like it's wet blood. Yeah, really like this face sculpt. Once again, I think I may prefer maybe a little bit different of an expression other than this kind of aloof looking face. I don't know. Maybe something a little bit more aggressive would have been kind of cool. But yeah, no, I really think that this looks like a young Bruce Campbell a lot, and really happy with this face sculpt. And coming down here to the rest of the figure, this thing just absolutely blew me away. I love these soft goods. I love this kind of blood splatter all throughout the shirt. I think this looks wonderful. It really looks like dried blood. I love this fraying effect that you get through the rips and everything of the shirt. That's my only kind of concern a little bit though, is how is that going to hold up since it's actually frayed already? Is as I pose it around, things like that, is it just going to fray more? So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to hold up over time, but I think the detailing and everything looks amazing. I love these straps here going to the gun holster. I think they look wonderful. Really nice kind of worn leather effect to them. All the detailing throughout looks amazing. Over here you get a little bit of Ash's stomach and everything with that nice battle damage with the scars. That looks wonderful. The undressed arm looks really good. You get some nice detail and flesh tone there. Coming over here to the back, you do get this really nice gun holster here on the back, and the shotgun actually fits very nicely into it, so you just kind of insert it like so, and it snaps into place. And yeah, I think that looks really cool displaying option. Coming down here to the pants, not a whole lot going on. Oh, actually, going right back here to this rip. The only thing I'm really not crazy about with the design of this, so what they did is they actually sewed this flap to the pants. So wherever you move it, it obviously goes with the pants. So like right now I kind of had him stepping on the Deadite's head. So what's happening is when I do that, it kind of looks a little bit unnatural. I wish maybe they wouldn't have sewn that, so it kind of fall over his thigh a little bit more naturally. But just keep in mind that that is actually stitched to the pants. But the pants themselves look really good, like that green. All the stitch work and everything look really cool. I mean, a little bit basic, but still looks really good. And coming down to the boots, these look amazing as well. You get some nice worn leather and kind of mud mixed in there. I think that looks wonderful. Laces and everything are detailed out wonderfully. Yeah, really nice pair of work boots that you'd wear out in the cabin in the woods. And taking a closer look at the articulation of this figure, this is where it kind of loses me just a little bit, and I don't think it's going to be every one of these figures. It's probably just the one I got, but this elbow right here honestly was stuck to the point where I couldn't move it, and I felt like I was going to break it, and I had to like put it underneath the hairdryer for like 5 minutes to actually get it to even budge a little bit. It's still not moving as good as I would like it to for as expensive this figure is, but it is moving. Same with the shoulder joints, they feel really stiff as well. So just be very careful when you're taking this figure out and messing around with them for the first time. You definitely don't want to break anything on them, so just a word of caution. But that's enough of my ranting, so here's the true articulation section. So as far as the head, this is all one piece. As you saw in the sculpts, the neck is connected, but there is a good range of motion, so it does rotate side to side. There is a good amount of head pivot right there, side to side as well, and then you can look up a decent amount, and you can actually look down a decent amount as well. So even though it's one solid piece, the head articulation is actually really good on this figure. And like I said, the shoulders were a little bit stiff, but they seem to be working pretty well now. And they go about 90 degrees out to his body. As far as the bicep, they do rotate here at the elbow, not at the bicep. So there is a cut here at the elbow, so that does rotate. Obviously this side will go all the way around since there's no soft goods holding it together. Now, as far as the actual shoulders going forward, they'll go forward about that much before you start getting some major pooling here in the soft goods. And then as far as going back, about that far before, once again, you get some major pooling there in the front of the soft goods. And obviously this one will go all the way around. So as far as coming down to the bicep, there is only a single joint there on both biceps, so he'll only go forward about that far. And then as far as the hands, they do rotate and they are hinged up and down. Now, as far as the torso, there is rotation up here at the top. My only kind of concern with really wanting to push it too far is obviously you can see that this shirt is starting to pull a little bit with it, and I don't want to like rip it or pull it out of the actually being tucked in the pants or anything like that. I don't know how it's actually adhered in there, so I don't want to push it too far, but there is rotation here at the chest. There is a little bit of an ab crunch, really not a whole lot, and he can go back just a little bit, but not a great range of motion there. Now as far as the legs, he can kick forward a decent amount, so about that far forward, and then as far as going back, not nearly as good, so you can only go back about that far. Now as far as doing the splits, I can go decent amount, but you're getting some major pulling there in the crotch area. There is a cut up here at the upper thigh, so that works well. He is double jointed actually at the knees, so you get pretty good range of motion there. And then as far as the feet, they do rotate side to side. They are hinged up and down. Not the greatest amount of motion there, but they are hinged up and down. And there is ankle pivot. So that is going to do it for my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn Ash Williams collectible action figure. And like I said throughout this entire review, I love this figure. I am so happy that I gave Mezco another chance. They knocked this figure out of the park, and even though my specific figure that I got did have an issue with the joints being really tight, I can definitely overlook that when they deliver a product that just feels like a character from a movie so freaking well, and it just comes with so many accessories, comes with so many cool details. It's reignited a horror fandom that I definitely used to have, and I am super excited that I was able to add this figure to my collection. So once again, that is going to do it for me this evening. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It means the absolute world to me that you guys are watching them, and I cannot believe it, but I actually hit 800 subscribers the other night. I know in the world of YouTube, that's hardly anything, but for something that I did for myself because I wanted a creative outlet and I loved editing videos, and I watched all sorts of action figure reviews right before I would make a purchase on a figure to see if it was worth the money or not. I just wanted to be able to kind of give that back a little bit and hopefully help some people get some good information on some figures and get a close-up look at them. So for something that I was just doing as a creative outlet, it is unbelievable, and the last few years have been so much fun. I've made such amazing friends that I probably wouldn't know if it wasn't for YouTube and toy collecting and those type of things. So I want to thank you guys so much. I never actually do this, but it would be amazing if I could hit 1,000 subscribers by 2020. So if you guys don't mind, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. I love to talk to you guys. As you guys see, I always try to respond to comments and things like that. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Ash, what you think of Mezco, what you think of Evil Dead, horror, whatever it is. Love talking to you guys. So once again, I know that was long-winded, but this is the end of the video, I promise. So I will catch you guys later. See ya.